Alright guys, welcome back to Noia Plays TCG, and today we will be reviewing BT14 updated Shinegreymon deck list. Alright, so we know that after the restriction list with GeoGray, Shinegreymon kind of got a little bit of a whooping from that, got nerfed, but because of BT14, we are still holding strong. Our friends still hate us for playing it, and it is one of the best decks you can still play currently in BT14. I have defeated Finra Lugamon with this deck. I have almost defeated Mirage Galgamon with this deck. I have defeated way too many decks with this deck list, so let's get into the video. So starting off, we have BT14 Koromon. Just like, this card is a goated Digitama. What it says is, when a card is removed from your opponent's security stack, draw one. So I'm telling you, this thing, when you stack cards on top of this thing and you play your Marcus out, because your Marcus are the only things doing the work around there. Every time a Marcus swings at security, these cards are going to give you automatic draws just like that, and it's insane. Continuing on to the next one, we got 4 copies of Agumon BT12. Obviously, your main searcher, reveal the top 4, add 1 Greymon in its name and 1 Marcus among them, and then put the rest at the bottom. With an inheritable of minus 2000 DP when Marcus suspends. So that's the best searcher Digimon there. Moving on, we got BT13 Agumon. Main once per turn. For the turn, one of your Marcus Daemon is also treated as a 3000 DP Digimon and can't Digivolve. For most of the inheritables, with all these Digimon except for Rise Greymon BT12, they all say red or yellow tamer, so it doesn't matter if it's a Marcus or if you've got a solid red Marcus, or even his father for some reason. Why would that be in the deck? I don't know why. With all the inheritables, they say red or yellow tamers. So Agumon's inheritable is, when a red or yellow tamer becomes suspended, you may delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP. Reducing DP is crazy in this deck. People hate this deck for that. And then when you tell them that you have to pop them because they are at that 3000 or under that 3000 level, they're just like, my goodness, bruh. So anyways, good card to play, especially like if you have him in the Digi area and then you promote him, or if you hard play him on your turn, it automatically plays one of your Daemons out, and the other guys are just they're kind of messed up right there. Anyways, continue on. Agumon X Antibody, our second really good searcher, and also Digivolves 0 on top of any Agumon. So it's on play, when Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Greymon or Omnimon in its name and 1 X Antibody among them to your hand, place the rest at the bottom of your deck. I'm not so sure about the X Antibody part. Comment if I'm wrong, but I believe the X Antibody means like an X Antibody card, because it doesn't say X Antibody in its traits, so I think it's an X Antibody card, but tell me if I'm wrong. That's something me and my friend were trying to figure out a while back. So what's interesting about the level 4s here is that when I saw the restrictions list, I thought, oh no, we're gonna have to replace them with 3 security GeoGray. Apparently not. We just had to max out the other 2 GeoGrays and add in a 4th Agumon X Antibody. So GeoGray BT12. When Digivolving, if you don't have a Marcus in play, you may play a Marcus Daemon from your hand without paying the cost, which is awesome. I have to say, the amount of times that either at the beginning of the game I promote and then I Digivolve this guy onto that, playing a Marcus Daemon, and then when Marcus Daemon either dies or something, and then I Digivolve onto another Agumon and play another Marcus Daemon like later on in the mid game or later game, people hate me for that. I have to say, it is an intense card. 4 cards at the least. When one of your yellow or red tamers becomes suspended, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP. Moving on to EX4 Geogray, same black box text as BT12. Start of main phase, if you have a red or yellow teamer in play, gain 1 memory. I have to say, when I promote and then it's start of my main phase and there's a tamer out there and I digivolve that thing on there, I automatically gain another memory, digivolving for only 1 because of the black box text. So it's automatically cheaper. And then its inheritable is when one of your red or yellow tamers becomes suspended, draw 1, which is really cool. Your turn once per turn, so you got to make sure all these are once per turn. Geogray BT14, the one that got restricted. Oh. Anyways, that's fine. I've seen him a lot more in my pools recently, which is actually really nice. When digivolving, search your security stack and you may play 1 red or yellow tamer card among them without paying the cost. If you did, recover 1 deck, then shuffle your security stack. And then it's also got the inheritable of when one of your red or yellow tamers becomes suspended, you may delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. This is a staples card at this point. Keep it in the deck at all times. 4 copies of BT13 Shinegreymon. When digivolving, you may play a Marcus Taman from your hand without paying the cost. Amazing card. I have to say, when you stack this on the BT12 Geogreymon or the BT13 Geogreymon, if that effect works, playing 2 Marcuses on 1 turn just drives your opponents crazy, I have to say. And then all turns, both inheritable and regular effect, all turns once per turn, when one of your yellow or red tamers is deleted, place 1 Marcus from your trash on top of your security stack face down. Messing with the grave, man. Sending Marcus to the trash, pulling him out, putting him on top of the security stack, and possibly going up to maybe even 6 or 7 security, and just constantly giving you more life because you can constantly play it over and over. It just drives people nuts. Over to BT12, 1 copy of BT12 Shinegreymon. I have to say, I think I might push this up to 2 because there have been times where I would have to have this and it would just save me so much because of that 1 memory gain. Like, some of the time, there were a couple times that I would have BT13 Shinegreymon and I wouldn't be able to play any Marcus Taman, and I didn't want to do that, but I did need more memory so I could play BT12. So I might push that up to 2 copies and push the Shinegreymon BT13 down to 3. Same effect, all turns once per turn, and inheritable as BT13. So we'll just continue on to Shinegreymon X Antibody. 2 copies of this guy. Same effect as the BT13 one. You may play 1 yellow-red tamer from your hand without paying the cost, with a twist. If this has X Antibody or Shinegreymon in its Digivolutions, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn for each yellow or red tamer you have in play. And then your turn for each tamer you have in play, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. So if you've got like 3 or 4 yellow or red tamers out here and you play like a 4th or 5th one, that's automatically 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 DP. You could knock out a Restrodramon for that. Not to mention the other inheritables, like all the other DP reduction. You could do a complete board wipe if you wanted to, because I've played against plenty of people and I've just wiped out their entire board and they just forfeit. So anyways, and then obviously if you have like 5 tamers, you get extra 5000 DP, which most of the time you don't get to that many tamers, but if you do, you're awesome, man. Moving on to BT12 Shinegreymon, we got 3 copies of this. When digivolving, for each yellow and red tamer you have in play, one of your opponent's Digimon and all of your opponent's security Digimon get minus 3000 DP for the turn. So like I said, if you have a whole bunch of daemons, that minus DP racks up. So if you got 3 daemons out there, that's immediately 9000 DP. And if one of them suspends this game, that also activates all your other effects you have on the board, and you could draw, you could pop. It's almost limitless with this deck. Your turn, all of your Marcus Damon in play get plus 3000 DP and gain security +1. Now, this is more of a situation where if the Shinegreymon was out longer, you could play a Marcus Damon swing, continuing on to BT14 Shinegreymon. Same thing, Digivolve 3 Unrise Greymon, but start of your main phase, when Digivolving, until the end of your opponent's turn, one of your Marcus Damons is also treated as a 3000 DP Digimon, can't Digivolve, and gains blocker. So, when Digivolving, like the last thing you can do is Digivolve into Shinegreymon, play out that Marcus, it's a block automatically, you know? So, people are kind of forced to answer that if they do attack, unless they have some other crazy effect, which has been a little bit of annoying, but it has helped as a security system of protection. Then next round, if your blocker does stay on board and then comes back next round, start of main phase, you can push him right back out, easy as pie. And then all turns once per turn, when one of your red or yellow tamers becomes suspended, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 6000 DP for the turn. As a huge amount of DP added with all the other effects. There's bound to be somebody that's going to get hit by this and just popped. So that is really cool. I'm not sure about the ratios. I do like the 3-3, but I may push this up to 3 and then push this down to 2 because I'm more of a defensive player. Well, defensive offensive, because this deck is all offensive, but it doesn't have a lot of defense. So I might keep this where it is or push it up to 3. I don't know. We'll see. And then moving on to BT13, level 7, Shine Gray Burst Mode. Burst Digivolution 0 from Shinegreymon by returning 1 Marcus to the hand at the end of the Burst Digivolution turn. Trash this Digimon's top card. When Digivolving, you may play 1 Marcus Damon from your hand without paying the cost for the turn. The tamer played by this effect is also treated as a whopping 12,000 DP Digimon, can't Digivolve, and gains Rush. So, if you burst Digivolve onto this thing, and he plays out a Marcus Damon, and you swing with this thing, that's 12,000 DP Rush. That is an intense Marcus Damon Digimon. Then, not only that, your turn, once per turn, when one of your tamers becomes suspended, trash the top card of your opponent's security. You automatically get 2 checks of security right there. After that, if it's still your turn, you can swing for burst mode, and most of the time, that finishes the game because you've already had, that's like an ending game move right there. That's 3 checks automatically. You're probably at 2 or 3. I don't know. A lot of the time what you can do is you can take your BT12, Marcus Damon, swing, Digivolve Shine Gray into Shine Gray Burst Mode for free, and then send out another Marcus Damon, possibly the BT13 one, swing with him, gain a memory, pop some Digimon, take out some security, trash another security, attack, finishing the game basically. It's a crazy card. Now the important thing about the Digivolution Burst is basically at the end of the Burst Digivolution turn, trash the Digimon's top card. So right before you end the turn, you have to trash the Burst mode. It's a little bit of a sacrifice. If you Digivolve him regularly, you won't have to do that, which is really good. Moving on to Marcus Damons, 4 of BT12 Marcus Damon, 4 of BT13 Marcus Damon. You need all 8 of them. Starting with BT12, start of main phase, if you have a Digimon with Agumon or Greymon in its name in play, by paying 1 memory for the turn, this tamer is also treated as a 3000 DP Digimon that can't Digivolve. Your turn, when this tamer becomes suspended, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a yellow card with Greymon in its name in your hand without paying the cost. That is crazy. So if you got this guy in play in your basically tamer den, start of your main phase, after you promote, start of your main phase, pay 1 cost, especially if somebody leaves you at the 1 mark. You can push this up to 0, Digivolve on top of an Agumon or any Greymon really. Like I said, you can turn Shinegreymon into burst mode and play a second tamer, which is really awesome. But swinging at security, Digivolving one of your Digimon, as long as there's an Agumon or Greymon on the field, and then essentially could finish the game. Going over to BT13, start of your turn, memory setter, on play, You may suspend this tamer, so you don't always have to suspend this tamer, but you may suspend this tamer, and then when it suspends, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for the turn. Then, if you have a Digimon with Agumon or Greymon in its name, gain 1 memory. That's what's crazy about this card, is if you have an Agumon or a Greymon on field, you automatically gain a memory, and you could possibly pop some rookies immediately, like from the very beginning of the game. The amount of times I've saved myself from going over that 0 line because of this Marcus Damon prolonging my turn. No, people just like are really annoyed by this effect. It is crazy. Moving on to the training, we've got 4 red offensive training and 2 physical training. Reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, add 1 red card among them to your hand, return the rest to the bottom of your deck in any order, then place this card in the battle area. Main delay, one of your Digimon may digivolve into a red Digimon card in your hand for its Digivolution cost. When it would digivolve by this effect, reduce the cost by 2. These cards can stack, which is just crazy. And it's the same thing for the yellow one, just yellow. So basically pull out 2, and you can choose any card as long as it's within its color. So option cards, tamer cards, Digimon cards. You can choose any of those cards as long as it's within that color. And then you can delay these things, and you could have like 3 of these things lined up, and you could digivolve into the Shinegreymon by reducing that by 6. Really don't have to do that, but you know. And you could, like I said, they stack. So you can either stack them, or you could do them individually, weighed out and all that. And the reducing for Digivolution helps so much. And it just hurts everybody. I have to say, this is a real aggravating deck for most people. You might be wondering why I didn't play any Ruin modes in this deck. Like I said, I'm more of a defensive player, but I am very offensive with this deck too. So it's like, it's kind of, you know, you got to give and take a little bit. Ruin mode just doesn't really do well, doesn't do much for this. And I only have 1 copy of it IRL. You know, 3 copies of Shine Burst mode is all the consistency I need. So anyways, that is my deck profile. Thank you all for watching. Please leave a like and comment and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.